Hey everybody, I'm back and I wanted to talk about a couple of things. First off, my heart goes out to all of you who lost your asses on the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight. I know that many of you are probably having to rethink life. What you thought was a sure bet wasn't, and Jake Paul proved that we are falling further and further into idiocracy. And that movie has become a fucking documentary for our downfall. This civilization is down the fucking tubes, and that guy and his brother are proof, which sucks because I used to like Logan Paul. Like, I thought he was a cool dude when they first got started on Vine. They made funny videos. You know, he was a wrestler. Like, he did some cool shit. And then as his little brother started gaining popularity, you could just see he was a piece of shit. And the reason why, I know some people catching wind and seeing all the articles and all the vitriol about Jake Paul, and if you don't know him, good for you. Kudos, man. High five. You don't need this character to take any space in your mind, but he has terrorized the internet for the last like 6 years, and this kid's now in his early 20s and affluent family raised affluenza prototype. This kid is the prototypical affluenza type of fucking child that will cause nothing but pain and heartache in the years to come for his friends and family. And I wanted to go through just a couple of things, reasons why he is so hated. First off, when he was younger, teen, Disney gave him a shot, and Disney's clean cut. They don't fuck around. But it was then he started trying to scam kids, and a lot of people forgot. Like, we just collectively just don't like him, right? We just hate frosted tipped, dirt bike riding, tattooed rich kids who pretend to live the struggles of every day when it's obvious he's like a walking daddy issue, right? Like, he's just screaming for help and punching his way through emotional fucking distress. And all of us got our own goddamn problems. So when we turn on YouTube and when we go to these we just don't really care about that. And then what's worse is this guy gets into boxing, a sport that could use prominent figures and athletes to come back, and new exciting faces and names and something to bring it back. And instead, this dude thought the circus would work. And this weekend's show was nothing short of eye-gouging, pathetic, just really like the bottom of the barrel event for anyone. I mean, I was looking at clips, man. I'm not even going to show any. It's just fucking sad. It's sad what boxing has become. If you remember the days of yesteryear. And I mean, boxing to me, for us, like this generation, my generation in our 40s, the epitome of boxing was in the 80s, late 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. And even like probably to like 2010, really. There were some really good matches. I mean, like a little bit past the Oscar de la Hoya craze. And, there were some really exciting fighters all throughout boxing's history up until recently. And then when all of those guys retired and whatnot, the promotions went to shit. And when all the refs and the judges started throwing fights and, just wrecking people, like just obviously making egregious crimes against these fighters, things that defied fucking logic. It really sullied sport. It really sullied boxing in its entirety. And you compound that problem with the promotional factor, where like just the sponsors, the TV production, all of those things start to crumble as the money depletes. And you noticed that, like, it all sucks now. Boxing is sad. It's a sad carcass of what it used to be. CBS boxing, if you ever try to enjoy that, it's sad now. It's just too poor. Central American kids punching each other for cash, and it's like you could just see it's just a job for them. It ain't about the technicality. It ain't about anything. It's just these guys are trying to pay bills, and it's so like if you could just throw 2 Rock'em Sock'em toys in there. I think the only way to revive boxing at this point would be to get fucking robots involved. Just live size Rock'em Sock'em robots designed by MIT students. 6 foot, 7 foot beasts beating the shit out of each other. That would probably be the only thing to bring back boxing, because humans have fucking ruined it. And Jake Paul is proof of that. And watching him knock out Ben Askren is one of the most painful things I've seen, because even in the weigh-in, or even in the, just the weigh-in, I mean, Ben Askren looked terrible. Anybody that says Ben Askren looked fight ready is fucking lying to themselves. That dude looked like he was in the worst shape of his life, like he just didn't give a shit. And now there's accusations he threw the fight, and I don't even think so. I don't think he's that good of a fighter to begin with. Like, Ben Askren was a good wrestler, yes, but a good wrestler didn't guarantee, like, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be a fantastic fighter in general in MMA, but it gives you a damn edge. And he did all right until he got knocked the fuck out. And then after that, it just like he just, I don't want to do that again. And now he's the owner of 2 of the most like hilarious knockouts in the history of combat sports, man. Like, it's top 20. Like, he has 2 of them. Flying knee to the face and punched by a fucking con artist YouTuber and knocked out. That's it, man. Call it in. Take your paycheck. I hope it was worth it. And live your life, but just don't do this anymore. Because whatever sport you get into, you sully now. When you suck this bad, everything you touch turns to shit. That's it. If you were a terrible a pizza maker, and you burned your pizzeria down, and you build another one, that one's probably gonna suck too. If nobody liked the pizza in your first pizzeria, they're not gonna like it in your second one. Just stop it. Make commentary, get behind the booth, maybe train people to wrestle, focus on what you do, but just stop taking on fights. Not everybody's designed to take a punch. Some people are designed to get choked out. They could play the long game, but some people just, that big ass jaw of his, just, it can't take a fucking hit. He's got a man-sized head on like a professional keyboardist body. Like if I met him in a parking lot, I would assume I could fuck him up. Like, he just has that look like, hey, and I know, you shouldn't assume, even though he's out of shape, but he looked particularly bad in this instance, especially compared to Jake Paul. And I despise Jake Paul's existence. I feel like the showman trash, fake TV, dare me bro people, like they're the bane on humanity, bro. We don't need that. That's why aliens won't visit us. These guys suck ass. They take away everything good. There's so many good content generators on fucking YouTube, and he ain't one of them. And he's never been. Never. The minute that they left Vine and they stopped being funny, like, he was just a scumbag. And then he creates a fake little education school telling kids that regular school sucks and that you should learn from him. And then he creates a pyramid scheme of charging people $7 to access these videos. And a lot of young kids did it. That was why a lot of people started to hate this kid, because he does everything to impressionable people that they fall for every time. He capitalizes on his popularity by monetizing his insanity. And that's what, oh, look at me, I'm crazy, y'all. Look, I did it, so you can do it. I could be a piece of shit. I didn't need school. And he made money. The truth is that he comes from money. They have a team of people behind them, and that it's all entertainment. He just picked a character out of a box. He could have done anything. Him and his brother were natural born athletes who were cultivated by birth in a family of money and success that provided them every opportunity and schooling and all the other things, the training and the after school shit and the coaches that you will never fucking have. They got it. So if you wonder why these assholes are going to have money no matter what, it's because they come from money. They're pieces of shit, but they come from money. But they trick children into paying them for fake videos. And then it just continued to get worse. Like, his pranks just got out of hand. He turned his fucking neighborhood into a war zone. He's generally a scumbag. And then boxing as a whole let him penetrate the sport because they figure any press is good press. Except that event this weekend was a fucking atrocity. And everybody covering it said it. Everybody covering that match and all the fights and the entertainment, the music, the intro, all the shit that happened. It's just Vince McMahon stuff, man. And the Vince McMahon audience isn't a boxing audience. That doesn't mean that there's not an audience that enjoys wrestling. There is. The wrestling fans, there's millions of them. But boxing and MMA fans aren't going to want to mix the two. UFC doesn't have to do that. UFC doesn't have to fucking bring out the explosions and the half-naked chicks and all the bullshit. They keep all of that entertainment stuff to a minimal, but they keep it professional. And they focus on the fights, so you maximize your entertainment value. Same thing with Bellator. And all the fight fucking promotions before that. Bellator kind of carried on some of the old traditions, yes. And they did have some flair. With fighters intros, but nothing like what you saw this weekend. Nothing that was fucking stupid. It was just all, and it was just all celebrities. It was basically a fucking a giant jerk off-a-thon. Everybody's just talking shit, high, drunk. Like, it was so fucking cringy, man. I don't know. I can't really put it. It's just not for the sport, not for the sport of boxing. No true boxing fan could look at that and see anything good. A wrestler fighting a kid who trains boxing, a dude like 6 inches taller than him and outweighs him by like 60 pounds. Regardless of his fighting acumen, he has been training. He is an athlete. And at one point, him and his brother were decent athletes. Logan Paul was a really good wrestler. Like, you say what you want about those two. Those kids were athletes. It's not like you took two gamers and then tried to turn them into fucking boxers overnight. Like, no, these kids they knew what they were doing beforehand. Now you put them in the hands of professionals and you mold them, and they are dangerous. Are they calibered to like fight a fucking Pacquiao? God, no. No, not by any stretch of the imagination. But to fight a dude who obviously can't take a punch to begin with, or any hit to the head, a mild breeze would fucking kill Ben Askren. And he got rocked in the first round by a scumbag. Knocked the fuck out. I'm going to keep playing this video while I'm talking because it's just heartbreaking to see what boxing has become. Boxing is shameful now. It's sad to watch. Every time I try to give it a shot, I can't stop staring at the background and looking at and pre-pandemic, like, it was just sad. The production, 4 or 5 lights, like a cameraman who had no idea what he was doing. Like, it was just bad. And these were like primo fights, and then like guys get in there, no name dudes you never heard of with crazy records, getting in there and just obviously just fucking trying to earn a 5-6 round paycheck. Looking up at clock, you could just see them working it. This system is bought and sold, and that's why boxing is ruined. It's not that UFC killed it, it's that boxing became 50% skill and genetic acumen, or whatever the fuck, and the other 50% was just who was willing to dive, or what judges you can buy. Or would the ref be a little too handsy with one particular fighter? Could he throttle the fight? Could he delay it? You could see all those things take its toll on boxing. It wasn't one thing. A lot of things have happened in boxing to ruin that sport. But in MMA, a lot of people don't get to go to the judges because then you're 50-50 chance. You never know. But a lot of times judges make the decision that most people can agree on. Only once in a while you get a questionable outcome when you go, I don't know if they were watching the same fight I was, and then it leads you to believe that somebody may have got paid off. But boxing is prolifically corrupt. And because of that, from every angle, boxing has damn near met its demise. And Jake Paul wasn't their solution. And Jake Paul planning these fights, even though that event was big, people pay $50 to watch it. I don't know one person that paid for it. I personally don't know one person. I've been asking. No one will admit that. No one said they did. No one posted about it. I didn't see anybody say, "Ooh, I'm enjoying this tonight." Everybody was just, "Nah, I'm not watching that. Get the fuck out of here." Because we're not that retarded. You know, we're not that. We're not a bunch of dullards. Like, come on, man. It's a money grab. Just like everything these guys do, it's a money grab. It's not about the sport. It's not about professionalism. It's not about any of those bullshit things that they try to say. Oh, we're trying to save boxing and we're going to give it a new age group. We're going to, no, you're not. You're not marketing geniuses. You're a scam artist rolling. It's a rolling carnival. And you could see it was a rolling fucking carnival. So anyways, Jake Paul sucks as a human. And I hope that he changes his ways someday. Because he has a lot of influence, and people with a lot of influence, like him or not, they got pull. And the people that listen to them and enjoy them and think, oh, that's cool, they're the same people who make terrible fucking decisions all the time. You'll find that. Remember everybody that wore Affliction shirts and got into fights at bars? They were the general scumbags you didn't like in high school, right? It was the same group of people. It wasn't like it was some different. It wasn't the guy rocking the Walmart funny tee and plain Nikes and regular jeans, just a regular guy. That guy wasn't causing you problems. It was the same people that outwardly wore their stupidity and their lack of empathy and their fucking social awareness and all of those other things. These are the same, the Matt Gaetz of society. They're all pieces of shit. But those pieces of shit have audiences, and those audiences will wear their shit and they think what they do is cool because that's what cool people do. And it's just fucking dumb, man. It's just dumb. So don't let your kids fall for this shit, but whatever. Just don't support it. Don't support it. And I hope that Jake and Logan and all those guys who have that influence, instead of taking it in such depravity, I wish they would do something better with it. I'm not saying wholesome shit. I'm saying something better, something constructive. Like, it's just scumbaggery at its worst. That's all it is. You know, just creating the bad guy image so everybody could hate them. And then at some point they prove it. The guy's got sexual assault allegations against him, multiple. He's got all kinds of shit. It's like after a while, it's like, how much of it is an act? You know, a lot of people defend him. Oh, he's just playing. No, that's at some point. That's his personality. That's who he is. He's a piece of shit now. Like, it's embedded. It's stamped. It's ironed into his soul. He's nothing. He's nothing you would be proud of. And that sucks. That just sucks because other people don't even get a chance to do that. They're too busy getting kneeled on by cops because they had a fake 20. You know, these guys are proof positive that white privilege exists. It's in the flesh. It has 2 legs and 2 arms, and it walks around in fucking tracksuits, and it's a piece of shit. And so I don't know. This fight this weekend bothered me to my core, man. This was bad. I mean, on top of everything else going on right now, but like this was sad. This was just like, man, I feel like boxing. It's going to be a Jake Paul butt fuckathon. That's all it is. It's just a bunch of sad people, you know, a bunch of abused souls getting together to outflash each other, and then celebrities who enjoy that type of stupidity to go out and pay money to see that and hype it up. Meanwhile, every fan of the sport, we should know better. Don't support this shit. Anyways, I'm done.